Oh, so it's March 1st today, and springtime, researching, planning my garden, um, waiting. Here in zone 3 we have to wait a little longer, so I'm itching to plant things, but I figured I would do a little art craft project here that I would like to encourage everybody to get involved with. It's just so much fun. So we are going to make love stones, which is part of the Abundant Love Project. I will put a link below. You can find their Facebook page for this little project, and I just love this. So you need just a few items. You need to find a stone. You draw a heart on the front of your stone, and you are loved on the back. You attach one of these notes, and you can get this card and these notes on their Facebook page, and then you hide it somewhere for a stranger to find. So what you need, I went to Dollarama, or should I say the Dollar Tree, and I just found a bag of stones like this. You want them to be about the size of a loonie or a toonie. These weren't very expensive. Anything that's big enough, the larger it is, the easier it is to paint on them. And you're looking for a surface that's flat enough for you to paint on. I have, done some around the edges of some of my rounder stones. You need a paintbrush. One brush that I use to paint my words and my really small details. This is actually just a small makeup brush. And what I have been using, you can use liquid embroidery, fabric paint, enamels would probably stick better. I'm using what I have, so I'm using acrylic paints. I'm particularly fond of the metallics. I did quite a few with the golds and the silvers. And then what I'll say about the acrylics, though, is the acrylics don't really stick to the stone very well. You can actually even just scrape it off. So my last step was that I gave my stones a couple coats of varnish. There are better paints that probably will adhere to this better. I know you can get paint pens, and if it wasn't black stones, if I had lighter stones, I would have been able to do this possibly even with markers. I still think even with markers you would probably want to put a coat of varnish on them, just to give it some durability. With the varnish too, it makes it shiny and sparkly and they look kind of like gemstones. Okay, so we're going to do this guy. He's not perfectly flat or anything, but I've decided that, the heart I paint, I want it to sit this way, and I think of the bottom as being where I'm going to write my words. So make sure you shake your paints really well. And what I usually start with is with the I love yous. Now I did, I don't know, 20 or 30 of these for Christmas time, and I've had a lot of fun taking them and leaving them behind. I haven't seen who's picked them up, but when I go back to those locations, the stone is gone, so I know that someone has picked them up, and it just feels good. So I'm just going to let this dry for a few minutes, and once that's dry, we'll be able to flip it over and draw our hearts on the other side. One thing I forgot to mention too is what I've also done is I clean my stone with rubbing alcohol and then just give it a little bit of a wash under water and wipe it dry, and it just helps a little more as well with if there's any debris or dirt or anything on your stone, it helps the paint to stick a little better. When I first started doing this project around Christmas, I did all the stones, and initially I thought, how on earth am I going to come up with a unique design for each stone? And somehow I managed. The only limits there are is your imagination. So you can really just go with this. So we're going to let these dry, and I'll be right back to show you the rest of the process. Another thing you can do, you can bling. I do find that the adhesive on these things isn't that strong, so I would recommend if you're going to use these, give it just a little extra dab of glue, but there's just no end. No. Okay, sorry about that. I got going painting on these and I didn't even realize that my memory card filled in my camera, and so it stopped. So what I did was I've done a design on here. This has sort of got 3 sides. So my lines here are a little unsteady and don't go on perfectly straight. I use my permanent marker, my Sharpie, to come in and just clean up those edges, and on the black stone it works very well. This little makeup eyeliner brush works fantastic. Now I've got some metallic gold, and these can be as simple or as intricate as you want them to be. When you make these shiny and sparkly, even your simplest designs, they really do pop. They just look wonderful. Insert elevator music. Da, 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 da. And then on this one, I'm going to carry on the other side with gold spots, but I'm going to make the gold spots a little bigger. And you know, if you use, you know, I use polka dots and stripes and lines a lot, but if you do them all in different sizes, it adds a little more of a dramatic effect. See, I'm starting these ones bigger at the top, and they're getting smaller as I go down around the base. So I'm going to let these dry, and we'll show you my last step here. Okay, so now we just come in with our marker. I'm going to put my glasses on. See how it's making the paint just kind of pop out? I just wanted to share a note with you. When it comes to spray varnishing, I don't think it really matters what kind you use. There's all kinds of gloss finish, matte finishes. Anywhere you can buy spray paint, you can probably find this. Any of your craft stores. And so I put them down on a piece of wax paper, and I sprayed them and let them dry. I like to do the backside first, just in case there's any dripping, but wax paper definitely is the key to keeping your stones from sticking to your surface when you're doing your spray. I'll just show you some previous ones that I've done. So I might still need to do a little bit of touching up on that. Here's one I've done before. It has kind of a fawn or a taupe gold color with the silver, and there's with the spray varnish. And then here's how I give it away. So this is another one I did. I use these little baggies. You can also buy these at the Dollar Tree really inexpensively. And then I just pop them in these little bags along with a script. Scripts are available in multiple languages, and a little card telling them a bit about the love project. So those go together in a package like this, and then I just leave this laying somewhere. Don't put it in a retail location. You can leave it in the park, you can leave it in the parking lot, you can leave it anywhere around your city, out in the country, in the little Y crook part of a tree, on top of a stone, in somebody's flower bed. I made a bunch for Christmas. I've really enjoyed taking these out and leaving them for people to find, and it's just it's an anonymous way to share love with the world. So please make some of your own. I challenge you out there to go to the Abundant Love Project, get your materials, and make some your own. And you know what? It really feels good. I really had fun. Once I got going, I couldn't stop. I give a call out to Jerry Paul. He's an artist friend of mine that does woodworking. He has a lathe and he creates some really beautiful things. Made some things out of the wood of my tree that got chopped down. And I am sending out a challenge to him and Lori. I want to see you make a love stone too. Serenity and contentment to you from Bella and I. And please like and share, spread the word, and please subscribe to my channel. And have a glorious day. Thank you for watching.